months since the workplace shooting, the officers and deputies who responded that day have received national recognition for preventing an even greater tragedy.
But as they told our Susan Simon, like the Paradigm employees, many are still dealing with the emotional impact.
There is an active shooter situation called in this morning.
On the phone with a caller that is hiding under his desk.
There are several hundred people evacuated.
Police snipers on the roof of one of the buildings.
Several gunshots going off.
It was a bang, 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 bang.
Scared, nervous.
It was 10:25 on a Wednesday morning, the start of a regular workday for employees at WTS Paradigm.
The suspect was neutralized. I know you have a million questions, and so do I, and I don't know those answers.
I could have died today, and there are other people that may have died today.
Dane County Sheriff Dave Mahoney was at a breakfast talking about active shooter preparedness when law enforcement from multiple agencies were called to the Middleton business for reports of victims with gunshot wounds.
The tones went off, and I turned to fellow administrators and said, is there a test? Is there a practical exercise going on somewhere that we weren't aware of? And it was only a minute before we realized that, in fact, this was Dane County's first active shooter incident.
Middleton Police Chief Chuck Folk, Captain Troy Hellenbrand, and Sergeants Tyler Lather and Darren Zimmerman were the first officers to arrive on the scene.
But my first reaction was, is this real? Is this really happening? I think in the back of my mind I was hoping it was something like fireworks or some sort of erroneous report.
And what is that like when you realize this is real?
For me, it was actually just like we trained. There were so many things that I did that day that we had repped so many times that it just came naturally.
Both sides move up together.
Police body camera video shows the three officers quickly advancing through the building minutes after the shooting.
He's right behind this plant here. He's laying down right behind this blue couch.
When we went in there, it was eerily quiet. Didn't see anybody hiding or anything like that. We were just moving through trying to find where he was. And as we were moving through the building, we came into a big open atrium area. Right when we came into that big area, he came out from another room probably about 11 feet from us.
Police, let me see your hands!
He fit the description, and obviously he had a gun, and it was immediate. We put our weapons on him, and the threat was there, and we started giving him commands. So
You did speak to him?
Oh yeah.
Did he respond?
No, he was mumbling something. I couldn't understand.
Drop that gun! Drop the gun!
The shooter, Anthony Tong, shot and injured 4 co-workers before being killed in a shootout with police. One of the victims was shot multiple times. Another was given a tourniquet by a deputy, which was then put on by a fellow employee.
We know who the real heroes were that day, and it was the people at Paradigm. And they all survived, and they survived because they did what it took. They either hid under a desk, they either barricaded themselves in an office or a storeroom or whatever, or they ran, and they even carried their wounded colleagues with them.
The shooter was barred from legally buying or owning a gun because of a mental health issue, but he was able to buy parts online.
I wrote a letter to our community a year ago and said that we cannot allow this to be the new normal, and how profoundly mistaken I was, because it is the new normal and it's really unacceptable.
This is not a Second Amendment issue. It is not. It's about a community safety issue.
You're trained for a moment like this, but you're taking a human life. How has it affected you?
I never thought that I'd truly really be in that situation, so I think it's important to acknowledge it and be proactive with things such as counseling, seeing a psychologist, utilizing our EAP services.
I didn't fire my weapon, but I was behind these guys as they were communicating with the suspect. So for me, I was really concerned about them. And I think that's probably been as an administrator in our organization, that's probably affected me the most, is just how it's affected our officers and our staff.
And as we move forward now, we want the community to know that we are there to provide the training, the resources to be prepared.
It's not instinctual to run to the sound of gunfire or run against the wave of people that are leaving, and these men and women did it, and Sheriff and I could not be more proud of them.
Paradigm has rebranded in the past year, dropping WTS from its name and moving into a newly remodeled space on Deming Way. All 4 of the injured employees have returned to work.
Well, Paradigm released a statement saying the company has worked hard to recover in a positive and meaningful way, and you can read the entire statement from Paradigm's CEO on our website, channel3000.com.